Is it time? It's time. Cryptic Mayhem? Wow, it's been a while. But look, hey, it's time for the stream. It's good to see you. Order 42 is now live. That didn't sound right. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And Ninjinzu coming in hot. Good to see you, sir. Ricky. Look, Ricky. You've been first before. You just weren't fast enough today. And Robert Rivera, hello. But yeah, Cryptic Mayhem, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you on Dave's stream in a while. But then again, lately, look, man, I go see the movies, the new movies on Thursday nights. Usually like Thursday afternoon if I can. But like I usually go Thursday nights, which means I'm in the middle of, of doing my edits and all that stuff when Dave's stream starts. Because that's the only place, that's the place I usually see you, Cryptic, is over at Dave's stream. But hey, it's good to see you over here. Even if it's just you checking in, I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you watching. I say that all the time, but I really mean it. Look, it's, anytime I get views and likes and all that stuff, it's awesome. It's just awesome. So I appreciate you just coming in, hanging out. I like that. Carbonite, good to see you. Have you answered the poll yet? Because apparently I've got 7 votes right now, and either there's comedians or people that aren't going to read the the book. But hey, that's fine. That's fine. And Slade's movie, welcome. Jar Jar needs to have a resurgence. I miss him, and I need a 4-hour cut of a Jar Jar movie. I mean, I don't know about that. But hey, I've been a Jar Jar apologist ever since I saw that episode of the Clone Wars where it made me realize something about Jar Jar. Made me realize that he serves a purpose. You may not like it, but he does serve a purpose in the story. And I don't think he's that bad. But I understand it, I understand if people don't like him. But hey, we're still vaping on this guy. I mean, just look at that. That is so pretty. But I realized why. After using this for a week, I've realized why I don't use this very much. And it's because the battery life on this thing kind of sucks. It just does. It's a single 18650 battery. And it just chews through them, man. But it is a very, very pretty mod. And, it's cool to have a one of one, Oh, and by the way, you might see the 2 aliens hanging out in my popcorn bucket. That's right. Both of those aliens came from Billy, by the way. Billy just was like, I don't really need these. You want them? I'm like, yeah. So yeah, got a couple alien guys there. But anyway, I'm still reading 3 Body Problem. I started in April. Wow, Carbonite. Wow. Yeah, I read a lot. Okay, I do. I spend typically, some nights doesn't work out, but typically I spend at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours reading every night, just because I want to get better at understanding story, and reading all these different kinds of stories is helpful to me. I mean, it may not ever really come to anything, but I do enjoy reading. I always have. But I also, hey, by the way, here, if you want a closer look at the aliens there you go, in the popcorn bucket. And I like how the one on the right hand side, the one from Alien 3, he's kind of pointing over to the movies, like he's like, hey, how you doing? Look at these. Look at those. Can you see it? Yeah, he's got his hand like, hey. It's pretty funny. I kind of like it. Those will stay there for a while. But with every, like, almost every PG/G movie. I mean, most movies are PG now, but most like family movies, right? They do the tie-ins. They do tie-ins with, McDonald's will do a tie-in, or Burger King, or whatever, and then they'll do tie-ins with different cookies and candies and all that kind of stuff, right? I tried the Beetlejuice fudge stripes, and they were gross. I mean, they're not gross. They're just not good. They're just substandard cookies. Because I'll tell you this. This was a few years ago. We were on a vacation, and I'm not sure which Jurassic World it was, but it was one of the Jurassic World movies. And they were fudge stripes, but they were called Vanilla Dawn, because it's like, hey, it's a new dinosaur, Vanilla Dawn. Anyway, those were awesome, like amazing, like next level, like holy crap. My wife and I ate the whole box of cookies, and then went and bought another one. It was awesome. These, no. Let's see. No offense, but I'm in my mid-20s and I can't help but laugh every time I see a middle-aged person vaping. Just something about it, I can't quite put my finger on it. It just makes me chuckle. Well, Slades, here's the thing. Vaping was created for people to either quit smoking or prevent them from smoking anymore. I used to be I wouldn't say a heavy smoker, but I smoke. I smoked for 22 years. So nicotine is part of my thing. It's just part of who I am, I guess. Kind of. So the fact that I vape is just so I don't smoke. And this is 95% safer than smoking. So now I should say that the United States isn't big on vaping. In fact, they keep trying to destroy it because it's cutting into those really, really nice cigarette taxes. You know what I'm saying? But the UK, the Royal College of Physicians, said this is 95%, at least 95% safer than smoking. So that's why I vape, because it's safer and I still get my nicotine. So yeah, there you go. But I get it. I understand vaping is a meme and all that kind of stuff, but look, people use nicotine for a reason, because it helps them. I use it many times daily. So, but no, I'm not taking offense, but I'm just explaining things. Most people that vape are in their 40s and up, My mother-in-law, not sure how old she is, but she vapes. She quit smoking by vaping. And if that woman can quit smoking through vaping, I'd say it's a pretty good thing. Just saying. But there you go. Anyway, I used to read a book every day or two. Can't do it anymore. Attention span too short now. Well, Carbonite, it's weird. I think that reading and even watching movies, there's a skill involved. It's a quieting of your mind and allowing yourself to be taken in by a story. I think movies are the same way. I think you can kind of ruin yourself on movies, because it's like, what, just get to the point. What's all this talking, but I just think it's a thing. I get it though, Carbonite. I get it. But I love to read. I mean, obviously, right? I'm still trying to read through selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey. Lil Pee-wee, I'm not sure what that is. Should we look it up? Should we look up Marcus Garvey? Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican political activist. He was the founder and first president general of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, through which he declared himself provisional president of Africa. Garvey was ideologically a black nationalist and Pan-Africanist. Africanist? I don't know how to say that. His ideas came to be known as Garveyism. Interesting. I've never read anything like that, but very interesting. Very interesting, Lil Pee-wee. I haven't really checked it out, but a fan editor by the name of Spence made a fan edit of The Stand from Paramount Plus to make it more accurate to the book. Nicholas Sanguinetti? Is that how you say it? Or is it a hard G or soft G? Sanguinetti or Sanguinetti? Sanguinetti? Look, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but hey, good to see you. That's interesting. The Stand. I didn't watch the recent version of The Stand. I just didn't watch it. So I don't know. But hey, it's always cool to see. Thank you, Nicholas. That's really helpful to just type your name. Oh, that was good. That caught me off guard because I don't know. That was funny. Oh, anyway. Interesting though. Interesting. That was good. I like that. Oh, dude, I gotta say, man, my allergies have been driving me nuts today, and it's like it's almost like it's not running. It's pressure, which makes my eyes hurt and all that kind of stuff. So we're dealing with that today. Smoke for 20 plus years, you're barely 34. I mean, Ricky, I've heard that a lot. You know, yeah, starting at 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old. I get that. I've heard it a lot. I didn't start until I was 18, and it was really to fit in with my friends. Well, if your friend jumped off a cliff, would you do it? Look, I'm just saying that's what happened. And then I got addicted to it and loved it. Like got to the point where it was like, wow, man, nicotine really helps me. It really does. So just saying. I'm an active participant in the Better Cookies Bureau. I strive for better cookies for all. Well, Ninjinzu, that's a good thing. But I wanted to bring up something. Two things came out like roughly the same time. I mean, of course, Beetlejuice comes out, what, September 6th, I think? Right? So in a couple of weeks. Anyway, another product came out. It's not related to anything, but it is a Halloween-themed product. And it is Kit Kat Ghost Toast. Okay, number one, is that not the cutest ghost like ever? You know, it's like, oh, look at that cute dead person. But seriously, I just think that's a cute mascot or whatever. But it's Kit Kat crisp wafers and cinnamon toast flavored cream. So I figured we could try this. Spoiler alert, I've already had it. But the color is, I gotta say, a little off-putting. A little bit. It's weird. Because it looks kind of orange on camera, but in person it almost looks pink. It's a very strange one, but I gotta say, these are awesome. If you can find these and you're a fan of Kit Kat, yeah, you should try it. Because they did, a couple of years ago for Christmas, around the holidays, they did a gingerbread Kit Kat. I bought like 3 bags of those and ate them like constantly because they were so good. These are really good too. Not quite as good as the gingerbread, but still really good. Mm. Very good. I probably shouldn't eat on stream. Still really good though. I smoked a pack for 15 years and vaping helped me quit. There you go. See, I like that. Slades, and I think honestly, when it comes to vaping, I think it just depends on the area. If there's an area that doesn't have a lot of vape shops, you see a lot of I mean, around here, around my neighborhood, I barely ever see anybody smoking. When I see somebody smoking and having like a cigarette outside their car, like they'll be flicking it or whatever at a stoplight. It actually kind of like, wow, that's weird. I don't smell cigarette smoke anymore. Um, I mean, some people don't like the fact that I'm blowing, acai strawberry yogurt flavors around, but I like it. Is that a Stranger Things Lego set in the background? You mean that is Jaws, baby? That's the Jaws set that I showed off last week. Where do you see Stranger Things? I don't have any Stranger Things merchandise like at all. But how's it going, Phil? Good to see you. I used to get sick smoking cigarettes, but vaping has made it 100 times easier to smoke like 3 in a row. I try to stay away from both. Now, look, here's the thing. I think, wow, I'm way behind already. Hi. I'm order 42 and I get behind in the chat because I get talking about one thing for like 15, 20 minutes. That's the way it goes though. But, what are we saying? Used to get 6 million babies, man. Yeah. I don't think any vaping was invented by a guy in China that wanted to help his parents quit smoking. And he was also a smoker and he also found it easier. He's like, "Wow, I'm getting the nicotine that I need, but it's a lot safer. I'm not coughing and all this stuff." That's what it was invented for. It was invented for people to quit smoking. It wasn't invented to, for little asshole douchebags to, to vape in school. That's not what it was invented for. And if anybody tries to tell you different, that's just not the truth. Now, there is, just like anything, there's a marketing part, I guess, of the product where oh, we're gonna put little cute cartoon characters on here or whatever. It wasn't to try to get kids to do it. It was just to try to differentiate their bottle from their their e-liquid bottle from another one. Bright colors like that. They got rid of all the cartoon characters. Once the FDA started, hey, this is not right. So they got rid of the cartoon characters. But then they started saying that, oh, well, it's brightly colored. So, and I'm like, so you can't even have colors? What does it got to look like, the old generic, like it's got to be a white bottle with a black text and it just says e-liquid. I mean, what do they, you got to try to, do something, right? I don't know. I don't understand what they want. But like, I would say that they would probably look at that and say, well, that looks like that's for kids. Oh yeah, because kids love fruit. I mean, some kids do. But most kids look at that and they go, I don't care. But it's just a weird thing. But I don't know why I was talking about that. I just think that it's weird that the FDA keeps saying, "Oh yeah, they're marketing to kids." It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Now, you want to look at some of the really bad beer and stuff that's come out. Cotton candy flavored vodka and stuff like that. I mean, look, not trying to point fingers, but come on. And let's be honest, what drug kills more people every year? Is it the hundreds of thousands of people that die from, drinking and driving and all that stuff? Or is the 0 people that have died from vaping? The 0 people. Well, you might say, well, what about that one that exploded or whatever, in that guy's face or whatever? Okay, well, that's somebody that misused the product. Sure, you could say, yes, you could count that up. But that's 1 versus Well, they're so dangerous because they explode. Really? How many phones have exploded over the years? How many laptops have exploded? Anything with a lithium ion battery, if you misuse it, if you mistreat it, it can explode. How many Teslas? Right? I mean, it's happened. So, I mean, I don't know. Look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers. Marcus Garvey was a crazy, interesting dude. Yeah, sounds like it. Picked up The Fall Guy on 4K today and a little known damn Raimi directed movie called Crime Wave. I didn't know that. How do we know if you really read, Jacob? I mean, that's a thing. Are the Xeno arms out flailing? Just the one. Just the one like, hey, look at all these movies over here. I don't know why all of a sudden he's Italian. I don't know. Buccio. Welcome, Buccio. Hearty good day to you, also my fellow magnificent denizens of the 42 crew. I mean, look, wow. Wow. Someone must have left the door open again. Ever impressive firstness. Yeah. One more question. What is your favorite fan edit? My favorite fan edit that I can think of off the top of my head is one called Paradise. It is a reimagining of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but all done from David's point of view. It's awesome. And it really, I think that fan edit completely destroyed it. Actually may have hurt me with fan edits, because now I want everything to be that good. And the reason I say that is because it took two movies, made it into one movie, but it was a transformative thing. It was a new experience. It wasn't just, hey, I took out this scene I didn't like, and oh, this deleted scene that they took out, I put it back in the movie. You know what I mean? It was a transformative thing. So it was something. I really, really like that one. Job Willens, I believe is his name. But I gotta say, I was super impressed with that one. That's probably my favorite one. Yeah, but like I said, it kind of ruined it, because now I see fan edits for, let's be honest, there's a lot of fan edits out there, and most of them did exactly what I just said. I'm going to take out this scene I don't like, and I'm going to put this deleted scene back in. Okay. But then when you see 12 different variations of the exact same thing, just from somebody else's subjective view of what they think the movie should be, well, it ends up being, then how do you review that? How can I get up here? How can I turn the camera on and seriously talk about something and go, yeah, it was fine. How can I judge that? It's really hard to do that. It's more interesting when there's something that's like, or the heavy metal Star Wars was awesome because it was like a new thing. It wasn't like just trying to tell the same story, but from their own personal likes. It was a different thing. So yeah, that's why I've basically stepped back from the fan edits, the fan edit reviews, and just said, you know what? Look, there's fan edits out there for pretty much anything, and there's some of them are really good and some of them are not so good. But again, the ones that aren't so good, it could literally just be a skill problem, that maybe people are cutting their teeth on fan edits to try to learn how to edit. And then I come along and go, this edit sucks, and that's just crap. And I don't want to stifle anybody's creativity. I don't. I think that's where it would actually hurt me to do a review like that. So it's part of the reason why I just said, you know what? I've had requests to do fan edits, mini requests to do fan edit reviews of someone's fan edit, and I'm kind of like, yeah, but all you really want is you want more people to see your fan edit, which I understand. It's almost like marketing. But I am not going to be a marketing tool. I'm going to tell the truth. And if I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. But I don't see the value when it's subjective anyway. Does that make sense? So, anyway. That ghost looks kind of phallic. I mean, anything can be phallic if you really try. I just think it's a... Well, now you ruined it. Halloween candy is upon us, which means Christmas gear comes out in a month. Oh, we're close. We're definitely close. Steve Muzak, the Acolyte got canceled. The best news of the day. Oh, we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about that. No orange block, but it'll do. I mean, nothing can replace orange block. Orange block is goofy, but hey. Rob just teases us with the Lego stuff. How far am I behind? Oh my God. Oh my God. Ted Milich. Welcome, Ted. Good to see you. I am so behind. I got to get caught up here. If you hadn't eaten on stream, I wouldn't have known that my new life's goal is to find those Kit Kats. Hey, Cryptic. I'm just saying. I found them at CVS. I was trying Walmart. Couldn't find them at Walmart. I just happened to go into a CVS and they were right there. It's a little bag, $5.99. And yeah, I've been snacking on them. They're good. They're good. You still smoke. We just finished the Simba Lion King Lego set. Interesting, Ted. I've never built anything other than mostly Star Wars. I mean, yeah, when I was a kid, I bought, I had space and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, and that Rivendell was amazing. But hey, Ted, here's the thing. Just saying. There is a world of better nicotine products for you. So, I would say, hey, give it a shot. And if you have questions, ask me. Either here or in the Discord. I would be happy to help. I mean, ask Ricky. Ask not Gary. I've helped some people with the smoking thing. Or with the vaping thing. Anyway. At any price range. Man. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm here to help. If you want the help, I'd be willing. Damn blurred red writing. Well, yeah. But yeah, that Jaws set came out last week, actually. And I actually got it for $100 off because I'm a member of the Lego Insiders Club, which basically means I've spent a crap ton of money on Lego.com. I mean, obviously, right? But yeah, it's a cool set. You should look it up. It's awesome. It's great. I have a dream that one day in the not too distant future, Rob, Jay, Billy, and whoever else from that gang is available will do a Lego build stream, perhaps as a fundraiser for, funds. Well, like I said, the biggest issue is, we buy these. I buy these because it's something that I do with my wife. April doesn't want to be on camera. So, there's that. But hey, it's a thing. But I understand I understand. I understand it could be fun. But hey. I was working on my Blazer a couple weeks ago, saw I still had a pack in there, so I smoked them. They were not good. They were like a month old, but I didn't want them to go to waste. Ricky, I did the exact same thing. In fact, the first time I tried to quit smoking was when I was probably 19. I had for some reason, it was this thing where it was like, oh, let's try a bunch of different brands or whatever. So I had like 2 or 3 different packs. And I decided, you know what? Well, it's probably a good idea. We need to just smoke these up. So I basically went on a smoking craze for like 2 days where I was just like, blah, 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 blah. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. The Mango Jewel killed the flavors movement, but they're still around. Own and Jinzu. They are. They are. But the pods, the pods is really, oh, they make it look like a little USB stick and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Kids ruin everything, They just really do. It's all about the kids. Oh my God, the kids. Oh. I'd rather them vape than smoke. It's just me. But if some kid's going to pick up one of the two, and kids do that, right? Kids try things, you know? It's just, I don't know if you remember, but when I was a kid, we were all trying crap. I would rather a kid pick up a vape than a cigarette. It's just me. But I'd rather them pick up nothing. Let me make that clear. There you go. How do we really know you was working on your blazer, Mr. Man? See, there you go. Works both ways, Ricky. Alien Romulus was actually good, but to many of your review spot on, Rob. Thank you, Phil. And look, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, but hey, I thought it was. I mean, look, I've had a couple of people tell me that yeah, your review is spot on, but the thing is, there's people that man they really liked it, and then there's people that hated it. You know, but I can understand. You know, if something like that bothers you, then yeah, I mean, I can see it. Obi-Wan Patterson cut is my favorite fan edit, and those heavy metal Star Wars are fun. Yeah, I mean, I thought they were. And the Patterson cut of Obi-Wan is pretty good. But again, that's taking something that's this long and cutting out stuff to make it this long. It's not really a transformative experience. It was like, "Oh, well that actually works better when you cut all that crap out." You know? But I mean, I don't know. Like for me, like that, like I said, that Paradise was good. Missing too many of Wraith's recent streams. Wraith, welcome. Good to see you. I know I already asked this before, but do you have a favorite fan edit? Did I catch up? Did you catch up, Nicholas? Paradise. Job Willens took Prometheus, Alien Covenant, smashed them together, but re-edited it to be from David's perspective. It was a different experience. And I really liked all the stuff that he did with it. I thought it was really, really good. And ruined fan edits for me. Anyway. Still waiting on that Borderlands review. You might be waiting a while. Well, it probably will come on streaming next week. I think they said August 30th is when Borderlands will be on streaming. I asked the question before in chat. Yeah, Nicholas. I saw it, but I got behind in the chat. I'm sorry. But hey, Borderlands is knit. I'm not sure I don't know what knit is, but I'm sure that's not good. I just want to bring something to your attention. Not good. That's what I've heard, Phil. That's what I've heard. At 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now look, you guys know that I am a big fan of the physical media, right? Like when I started this channel, I pretty much bought everything digitally. Every now and then I'd buy a Blu-ray or a 4K or a Blu-ray or 4K because it had some extra stuff that I wanted, special features or whatever that you couldn't get digitally. But for the most part, I just bought digital. I buy mostly physical now. Almost everything I buy. When I buy something that's physical. But every now and then, like 2 times a week, all of the digital things all the digital stores, they do sales. And I gotta say, this is a killer sale on iTunes right now. Now, of course, iTunes is also, you can link it to Movies Anywhere. So if you've bought something from Amazon, you bought something from Vudu or Fandango at home now, or you bought something in iTunes, as long as the studio has allowed it, it will connect to all of them. So no matter where you go, your purchases will follow you, which is really cool. But anyway, iTunes. Killer sales right now. Look at that. The Godfather trilogy for $10. And that is in 4K. And it actually, I looked it up. It actually comes with the new version, the Mario Puzo story or the Mario Puzo, I don't remember what it was called. Was it called? Where is it? Where the hell is it? Because I bought the DVD or the Blu-ray for it. Anyway, it's the basically the re-edit of Godfather 3. The digital copy comes with both versions. So you get the special edition re-edit or whatever, and you get the, oh, it's called the Life and Death. That's what it's called. Dude, I don't know where it is. I don't know where my copy is. It may be sitting over there. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm just saying. That's a pretty damn good deal. All the Hunger Games movies for 20. Titanic for 5. The recent Disney Spider-Man collection for 20. All the Rockies for 20. All the Bournes for 20. Got Maxine Pearl and X for 40 if you're a fan. Both versions of Blade Runner there. So you've got the original cut and the final cut plus Blade Runner 2049 for 15. Look, the Final Destination. I mean, look, there's good deals. There are good deals to be had here. So, just saying, if you're interested, look, all the Dirty Harry movies for 20. I mean, these are good deals. All the Lethal Weapons for 20. Look at that. Crimson Tide for $5. I'm just curious. I'm pulling that up. I'm guessing that's just HD. Yeah, it's just HD. And no special features. I only have that on DVD. And as far as I know, the 4K, I don't know if they're going to do a 4K of that. I might end up buying that for $5 because I love that movie. So anyway, I'm just saying, look, good deals to be had if you're interested. This link, the Blu-ray.com, I put in every single description. But here's the link just in case you're interested. It's a good one. It is a good one. So just saying, go check them out. There might be all kinds of stuff that you're into. Borderlands situation is sad. They recently announced the newest game, probably thinking it was going to pop off with the movie. Yeah, Ninjinzu, and here's the thing. It's from what I understand though, even though the movie didn't do well, there were a lot of people that went, like, basically got home and watched or played the games because they saw on Steam the numbers were up for the Borderlands game. So yeah, but Borderlands 4 what comes out next year? So it's okay. You can do whatever you want. I get it, Nicholas. Thank you. It's just a movie that's there. Not great. Not the worst thing ever. I've seen plenty of way worse movies. And that's the way to look at things, right? Just because, you know, a lot of people start crapping on a movie doesn't mean that it's really the worst movie ever. I mean, how many times has that happened? I remember when John Carter came out. People were crapping on that movie like it was the worst thing ever. And I watched it and I'm like, this is pretty good. It just seems like it was marketed poorly. So that's the big problem, because I like that movie. Now, is it perfect? No. I actually think that the woman that they got for the Princess of Mars, even though she was fine, she was a fine actor. I thought she was too old. I just thought she was too old. But other than that, I really enjoyed that movie. And I was actually kind of bummed out when I heard that it tanked so bad, because it was like, man, I kind of want to see the next one. But there you go. Alien and Romulus was great. However, it's similar to the first Wonder Woman movie, where the whole movie was fantastic, but the final act felt forced in. Should have ended a bit earlier. I mean, there you go. New Borderlands game should be okay. Everything about the movie version is baffling. Tiny Tina has been diluted. Just bad. I don't know anything about Borderlands. I tried. Who was it? I can't remember who it was. Somebody that I interviewed for this channel said that Borderlands was like their favorite game. So I went and bought the games, and I was kind of like, not for me. But that's okay. You know? I picked up all those Hunger Games movies for £3 in a charity shop or thrift store for my American friends. Yeah. mean, you can find some great deals on stuff like in a bunch of different places for Blu-rays and DVDs and things like that. I'm just saying. Crimson Tide I have in Blu-ray. They released in the UK called the Jerry Bruckheimer Collection. Crimson Tide is awesome. In fact, let me think. Because I was going to say it's my favorite Jerry Bruckheimer movie, but I don't know. Because then you have to count the Pirates movies, which I love. You have to count Top Gun, which I love. I love Crimson Tide, though. It's such a good movie. Gene Hackman is so badass. And Denzel. Denzel, it's the movie that made me a fan of Denzel Washington. Like, I'd already liked him. Like, with I think I'd seen him in Glory. And what was that movie? Was it Ricochet? I really like that movie. Is that the one with I can't remember. Ricochet is the one with I can see him. I can see his face. God, what's his name? It's driving me nuts. I don't own Ricochet. John Lithgow. Ricochet is with John Lithgow, right? And then what's the movie with Russell Crowe? Where Russell Crowe's like a digital thing and he comes into the real world. I like that movie too. I can't remember. And then they came along and they did Virtuosity. That's it. And then they came along and they got back together with Ridley Scott to do American Gangster. There you go, Wraith. There you go. Good job. Good job. Let me be clear. Borderlands is not the worst movie I've ever seen, and John Carter was not cast correctly. There you go. Joe Dirt got bad reviews from critics, but 90% of the people I've spoken to about it actually love the movie. I love Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I still play all of them pretty regularly. I've never really gotten into them. Joe Dirt is a movie that just did not connect with me. But I'm wondering if Joe Dirt is one of those things where, just like Big Lebowski, just like Austin Powers, like if you're watching Austin Powers with somebody that doesn't like it, you may come away from that movie going, that movie isn't great. But if you watch it with somebody that loves it, it's weird how it works. Maybe Joe Dirt, I watched it with somebody that didn't like it, so I was kind of like, meh. I don't know. I'm loving my Wayland Yutani light up bucket. It has now more than tripled in price. It's getting ridiculous. That is dumb. But I mean, that's the way of things, right? Right? And alien stuff, man. Dude, every time they seem to they make these figures, right? The NECA figures. Every time they make them, they sell out really quick. It's just a thing, man. Alien's awesome. And I got 2 cool ones that were just given to me. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. But I want to show you a couple things that I've been watching. So first off, let me say I haven't really broken in the 4K player like super well. I did watch bits and pieces of Dune Part 2, which looked awesome. What I'm really impressed with is the all of the information that it gives you when you hit certain buttons. I did do the something that you guys recommended, HDR calibration or whatever. What I read is that if you have an OLED TV, the HDR calibration doesn't really do much, and it only works with 4K movies that are not Dolby Vision. I could be wrong about that. But again, I've only watched the one. But I've been watching some movies. First up, Max isn't here. Or what does he do? What does he say? What is his thing in here? Shozama. He's not here. I think he's watching Alien Romulus right now. But this was a movie that he recommended. Leave Her to Heaven, Criterion Collection. This movie is kind of like a color noir movie. Stars Cornell Wilde and Jean Tierney. I wonder if she's related to was it Moira Tierney? Is it Moira? The mom in Liar Liar, and she was in other shows. I don't remember. I don't know. But all I know is this movie was good. I'm glad I watched it. Probably didn't need to buy it. I'll just say that. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Probably didn't need to buy it. It's just one of those things, right? It's one of those things. And I will also recommend HBO Max or Max has a ton of Criterion movies in their collection, in their library. That's what I would recommend for those of you who are interested in the Criterion collection but may not want to pony up the dough to, spend all the money to get those movies. If you still want to watch them, you can get them on Max if you have Max. Just saying. The next movie is another Criterion collection movie, The Bad Sleep Well, a film by Akira Kurosawa. This stars Toshiro Mifune. Toshiro, actually, is probably how you say it correctly. This movie was fine. Not one of my favorites. This is only on DVD. It's not available on Blu-ray, which is why I bought the DVD. But it was on sale, during the sale, and I'm like, I want to watch this movie. I haven't seen it, so I bought it and watched it, and it's fine. It's basically about this company. It's set like in Japan 1960. Okay, it's not a samurai movie or anything like that. Typical Kurosawa type thing. It's set in around that time, and it's kind of similar to Hamlet. Kurosawa and Shakespeare kind of go together in a lot of ways. A lot of his stories are sort of inspired by stories from Shakespeare, so it's got some Hamlet feeling to it. But I don't know. It didn't connect with me, and it was long. It was 2.5 hours, pretty long. I also digitally I watched Tropic Thunder because it's Tropic Thunder and it's fun. Is good. It was good. It was fine. It was good. I don't know what to say about it because it's it's Tropic Thunder. The thing is I've seen that movie a couple of times, and I was kind of rewatching it because it's like I haven't seen it in a while and I want to see it again. And I watched it again. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny. But it was almost like sitting there and watching it, not really laughing because I'd heard all the jokes before. So I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, yeah, I like the way that they did that. That's interesting. Wasn't as enjoyable, I guess, of a watch. It was still fun, and then a movie that I purchased somewhat recently. Again, I'm going off of my watch list, and most of my watch list right now are just movies that I've purchased and haven't watched yet. Right? Last of the Mohicans. So, Michael Mann directed this. Daniel Day-Lewis is great in it. Madeline Stowe's great in it. Wes Studi is awesome as what's his name? Magua? I think his name is Magua. The Huron Indian, Native American, whatever you want to say. It's good. I liked it. This is another one though where I probably won't watch this for another 10 years. This isn't oh my god, I gotta watch that movie again. It's beautifully made. It's the score is great. The practical sets, the sets are insane. The fact that Daniel Day-Lewis spent like 8 months in the freaking forest and crap, learning stuff. I mean, that's amazing. But the story was fine. It was good. It was good. It was good. So there you go. Those are the 4 movies I watched this week. Next on the list is a movie from the mid-60s, Steve McQueen, called, it's got Steve McQueen, Candice Bergen, Richard Crenna, Richard Attenborough, and Mako. Yes, Mako, who played Iroh, right? Uncle Iroh in Avatar, The Last Airbender. And he was also in Conan the Barbarian. After watching Conan the Barbarian, even though I know it's heresy for me to say that Conan the Barbarian is a product of its time. It's fine. It's not my favorite movie. Ooh. But here's the thing. I enjoyed Mako in that movie, or Mako. Is it Mako or Mako? I think it's Mako sounds better, right? Not Mako Shark. I don't know. Anyway, him. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this movie called The Sand Pebbles. And it's a 3-hour movie about, I don't even know what it's about. It was on sale. I saw, oh yeah, because basically that's what happened. Watched Conan and was like, man, I really like Mako. I thought he was great. Oh, he was up for a Best Supporting Actor nomination? For what movie? The Sand Pebbles. Never heard of it. Look it up. It's on sale. Bought it. That's just the way it worked. So I'm going to watch that here in the next few days. Maybe tomorrow. So there you go. And then after that, I don't know what's next. I want to say it's Brotherhood of the Wolf, which I haven't seen that since it first released. And it first came out on DVD or whatever. So this is the 4K of it. It's going to be nice to watch that. But yeah. And if I remember correctly, Monica Bellucci is in that movie. And I got to say, Monica Bellucci is one of the most, like she's so beautiful, it almost hurts. She is a startlingly gorgeous woman. But there you go. You just watched Tropic Thunder again the other day, Carbonite? Well, there you go. Look at you and me. We're like twins. Kind of. And Pixel Phoenix, welcome. Welcome back, I should say. Good to see you. We talking about Ana de Armas? Now look, Ana de Armas is she's definitely a gorgeous woman too. Okay? Monica Bellucci is like, I mean, do I need to bring up? No, I'm not going to bring it up. What is that, a TOS thing? Monica? Okay. Here, let me get my stupid face out of the way. Yeah. Come on now. I'm sorry. She's something else. She is something else. But yeah, Brotherhood of the Wolf. And if I remember correctly, there's a shot that is kind of a sweeping shot over her body, and her breasts turn into the mountains. Yeah. Neo should have chose her over Trinity. I mean, look. I get it. I'm going to have the other one of these, one of those. Ghost Toast, baby. Highly, highly recommended. It tastes great. Only for Halloween, Kit Kat Ghost Toast. And what's even better is when you throw them in the fridge. That's right. They're good. I'm telling you. They're good. Warm. Like that one. That one was a little warmer. Tasty. But I also like them in the fridge. Just saying. It's worth doing. It's the music choice rate that made me laugh my head off. The music choice. Not sure what you mean, Phil. I think they need another take on Alien vs. Predator movie, but done right. Well, I mean, Fede Alvarez did an interview that said that he wanted to work with, I can't remember his name, the guy that made Prey, and do an Alien vs. Predator movie. I mean, I don't know. Ghost. I'm telling you, man, it is really tasty. Like, I really like it. Like I said, not quite as good as the gingerbread Kit Kat from a couple of Christmases ago. Still very tasty. Still very tasty. Tropic Thunder opening with the fake trailers and the yes, yes, with Robert Downey Jr. and why am I? What's wrong with my brain today? Why can't I come up with his name? Doesn't it start with a T? Old Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire. Thank you. Thank you, Wraith. Alien versus the Thing? I mean, I don't know about that. You want Arnie to do another Predator movie? You know what I want? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would say that, I mean, sure, Arnie coming back to do another Predator movie, whatever, great. I would like them to make action movies the way that they used to, you know? But I don't know. Derek J925. Finally watched Furiosa. It was good and toned down compared to Fury Road. It is good. It's not as good as Fury Road, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Samsonite. I was way off. But here's the thing. I don't really want to talk too much about Alien Romulus, but I want to pose a question for those of you who have seen it. Again, hashtag no spoilers, because just in case people haven't seen it and they want to. I think Arnie is a bit too old too, but I'm just saying, make action movies the way they used to. You know, good. Just saying. But it got me thinking. Prey was pretty universally liked. Like most people liked it. Because they took the elements of the story and they put it in a completely different time period with a very low budget and managed to make a really, again, no spoilers, even for Prey. But I think they managed to make a really effective movie. Like, I think the movie worked. So if Alien Romulus, I think that a lot of the problems that we have, the constant, hey, remember this line from this movie, all that stuff, they did that, what, 3 or 4, at least 3 separate times. Right? And then there's the thing that is probably people's biggest problem with the middle of the movie. Right? All of that seems, it's weird because it doesn't seem to fit. It's almost, it feels shoehorned in. So I'm wondering if they had made Alien Romulus, I've heard originally, I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought I heard that Romulus was originally pitched as being a straight to Hulu movie. If that had happened, they would have gotten a lower budget, right? And they also wouldn't have had the same studio interference. Because if you look at it from Disney's point of view, right? We're putting all this money up for this movie. Then we need to put things in that these silly, you know, number crunchers are looking at and say, well, we've heard that if you put in lines like this, that can make people like it more or something. But with Prey, it really feels like they were able to just go make this movie for this amount of money. So I'm wondering if a lot of that stuff happened because it was a movie, because it was going to be a theatrical release, you know, because it was going to be a bigger deal. And I wonder if it actually did disservice to the story overall because all of this other stuff was shoehorned in. Just curious. Just curious. It got me thinking about it because I don't know. I can't, especially look, let me put it to you this way. If you listen to any interviews with Fede Alvarez, he doesn't seem like, oh, he's seen a couple of Alien movies. No, dude is a freaking super fan, right? He actually has like knowledge of the whole series because he's watched them multiple times because he's a fan, right? What fan would ruin some of those lines by putting them in his movie? What fan would be that dense as to think, you know what? We're going to use this very, very famous line and we're going to put it right here. I don't like, if I'm a fan, that's holy ground, man. That's sacred. You don't mess with that stuff. You don't mess with that stuff. It feels like some of that stuff was forced on him. Now, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But that's just what I get. Gut feeling, that's what I get. From Fede himself. He seems like he's so much of a fan that I don't think he would have done that. Now, some people might say, well, what if they just thought that wasn't that big of a deal? Well, if you watch the movies chronologically, there are lines that are being said that wouldn't have been heard in any other way until you get to the next movies. If you're a fan, would you want that to happen? I know I wouldn't. Now, like I said, I could be, what do you call it? Projecting, my own fandom onto Fede Alvarez. But I know if I'm writing an Alien story, I'm not going to be referencing that crap. And like I said in my review, I think that once you do that, you start comparing yourself. People start to compare your movie against these awesome, amazing movies. Why would you do that? Why would you hinder your own creativity and your own movie by immediately making you think of a different one? Why would you do that? I don't think he did. It's just a theory, but I don't think he did. And I think that once you start doing that, your movie doesn't stand on its own anymore. Now you might say, well, come on. Alien and Romulus isn't exactly Hamlet or Shakespeare or anything like that, right? It's basically, like a slasher movie, right? And if you boil down Alien and Romulus, that's pretty much what it is. But I think that there were some really, really good ideas in that movie. And I think that some of that was hindered by possible studio interference. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible, but I think that all the problems that I had with the movie, they don't feel like what a fan would do. It feels like what some out of touch executive would do. Some out of touch executive that doesn't hold those other movies in such high regard. Am I wrong? I don't know. Leon, welcome. Way more than 3? I don't know. I just know that there were the 3 lines. And again, let's try to keep the conversation non-spoilery, right? But you should see Prey though. If you haven't seen Prey, you really should give that a shot, because I think it's, in fact, it may be, I'd have to really think about it. But I'd have to think about it. But I think it may be my second favorite Predator movie. The first one is, leaps and bounds above everything. But I think Prey might be, I need to see it. I've only seen it the one time. In fact, that's probably a 4K I should buy. Just to support it, But anyway. Not in a mentor role, one few humans that killed a predator. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. I can see it being on Hulu, but the production in Romulus was fantastic. Absolutely. But this was an $80 million movie. It's not like they completely broke the bank making this movie. Sure, it's a good looking, man. All things aside, you might have a problem with certain actors, right? You might say, oh, well, that actor kind of sucked, or whatever. Whatever you want to say. Look at that production design. Fantastic. All like across the board. Even aside from, again, that one questionable element in the middle of the movie with a certain character. You know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Aside from that, 100%, like all the CG was great. The effects were great. The sets were great. Costume design, great. Like everything across the board was so top notch. I think they could have probably done it. Now, again, one of the things that you would do if you were going to say, okay, we're taking this story and we're going to put it on Hulu, right? If you were going to do that, you would change some of the story elements to not make them so expensive. And in that case, I think you could have done it. I think you could have done that movie on Hulu and it would have been good. It would have been good. I mean, that's just my opinion. And I could be completely wrong on that. I don't know anything about the studio interference on it, but that's just my opinion. Tom Ace. What's up, Ace? Good to see you. Studio Effery was afoot with Alien Romulus on some stuff, but I think he put out the story mostly he wanted to tell. I think so too. How many planes you shot down, Ace? I thought his Evil Dead movie was pretty terrible. Leon, that's one that I think it's the only one that's available for me to watch, for me to stream right now. I still want to see it. Because, like I said, after seeing that movie, it just made me go, okay, I'm a fan of Fede Alvarez, and I want to see... and I think that might be because I saw some interviews with him, and I kind of like the guy. So I kind of want to give his movies a shot. I haven't seen Don't Breathe, and Don't Breathe is not available, at least that I could find. It's not available to stream anywhere in the US. So I figured I'd give Evil Dead a shot. I like that Evil Dead movie, maybe more than the original. See, Carbonite likes it. Prey is now on my watch list. You should watch it. It's I think it's worthy. It's better than all the Alien vs. Predators. It's better than... I mean, some people might like Predator 2 more, but I wonder how much of that is nostalgia because I never liked that movie. You know? I shouldn't say that. I never cared about that movie. Like, it was fine, but I never really liked it. You know? Like, a lot of people just seem to love that movie, and I'm like, look, I like Danny Glover. I like Gary Busey. I like Bill Paxton. That movie's just okay. You know, to me. To me, Prey was awesome. I like Prey stuck to the point of the movie. There you go. I hear there's stuff happening at Marvel. People have been binned, activists booted, too little too late, time will tell. Well, Phil, there's a lot of smoke going on, and it almost seems like there's somebody that seems maybe to be clouding the issue. Like, Disney came out and said there were some sexual allegations against this person, and then that person comes out and says, oh no, it's because I did this. Okay, well, someone's not telling the truth, and apparently that dude got a lawyer, so we're apparently going to hear more. I don't like to talk about that kind of stuff until there's actual evidence, instead of, you know, it's almost a he said, she said, he said, she said type of situation when you don't really know who's telling the truth. So there you go. I enjoyed this video I saw where someone talked about the first plans for Alien 3. One of them sounded great. Yeah, and I've got this. I need to read this. But this is based off of William Gibson's treatment of the original treatment for Alien 3. And none of this, I mean, like I said, I haven't read it, but none of it looks familiar to me. So this is a completely different story. And I need to read this at some point. Because, well, as you may know, I am a fan of Alien. In fact, I'm going to leave this out. I might just blow through that in an evening. I don't like Evil Dead more than the Evil Dead, but I love both. I don't know which is which. You were a fan of Aliens vs. Predator. Ah, well, see, here's the thing. That's cool. I was not. well, I wasn't. But hey. Yeah, Prey rules. You're making me want to rewatch it. Yes, it's a good one. It's a good one. And yeah, talking about the X-Men 97 showrunner. Yes. That's what I was talking about. I don't know what Phil's talking about. Phil may be talking about something different. But that's the only thing I've heard about that's kind of drama or whatever with Marvel. But I do want to bring this up because, one of the things about Alien that I'm always thinking about, because okay. So there's like Star Wars and then like Lord of the Rings, and sometimes those flop depending on what I'm doing. Like a lot of time, like lately, it's been mostly Lord of the Rings, right? Because I've been reading a lot. But if you're talking about the entirety of Rob, Star Wars was probably my number one fandom. Then Lord of the Rings. Then underneath that, it's probably Alien. I love Alien so much. So much, right? The entirety of things, right? I love the Alien. I love the physiology of it. I talked about that in my review. Probably way too, like I said, life cycle, I think 4 times in my review. I apologize for that. But, yeah. But I love Alien, okay? I think about what's next and what they could do and all that kind of stuff because I'm that much of a fan. Well, I want to bring this up because this is on the way and it's done. So we're getting this soon. FX's Alien series wraps filming. Showrunner Noah Hawley promises something special. Now, I just want to read a couple of the things that's in this article because I think if you're a fan of Alien, this is interesting, okay? Number 1, the show is going to be called Alien: Earth. Okay. The show will, and we've talked about this series before, but this is what he says. The show will explore some of the same themes as that film. We're talking about Prometheus, including the idea of humanity being trapped between its primordial parasitic past and its AI future, and they're both trying to kill us. But its story won't be tied to those of Scott's 2 Alien prequel films, 2012's Prometheus and 2017's Alien Covenant. So it's not going to be tied to them, but it's got some similar themes. The themes are shared there. I love that, trapped between its primordial parasitic past and its AI future, and they're both trying to kill us. That sounds awesome to me. That sounds great. Then he says, I think that I set myself a high bar dramatically to turn what is one of the great horror and action franchises in cinema into something that takes more time with character and theme and does more than just create a horror story about trying to escape from death. I'm very happy with how it turned out, the performances that the actors gave, and the work of all artisans. I can't wait for people to see it. I mean, to me, look, to me, that sounds amazing. That sounds really freaking great because it's one of the things that I get when people say that they don't like Prometheus or Alien Covenant. I totally get it. There's so many problems with those movies, Oh, look at that. I mean, I'm the supposedly animal scientist guy, right? I'm all about the biological. And yet, I think I might get really close to this thing that looks like a cobra. I get it. When people say they don't like that movie, I get it. But it's the fact that it wasn't just another clone. It was trying to do something different. It didn't quite get there, but it was trying to do something different. Alien Romulus, in a weird way, just took it back to the basics, right? Which is fine. And it was really, for the most part, enjoyable. But this sounds really interesting to me. Like, really exciting to me. Because it's Alien, man. It's Alien! But it's also like, it's about something. It's not just, oh, we gotta run from this thing. Run! Oh my gosh! Oh, what? Oh my god. The other thing too that I think that people keep bringing up, and it seems to have come up in a couple of different videos that I've watched this week about Alien, thought it was kind of interesting. And it was about the fact that Alien and Aliens, what makes those movies, or part of what makes those movies so interesting, is that they're being told from a position of not, there's a blue collar sort of situation going on, you know? The first movie is they're basically like space truckers, right? And then the second movie is about Marines, you know? And they're like almost like salt of the earth kind of people, right? And there's something that's really, ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, right? And I think that's part of the thing that's been missing, is that the other movies tend to make it such a grand thing. And maybe that's part of it, is that these characters need to be relatable. But I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that freaking sounds awesome. And it's going to be a Hulu series. And for everything, I haven't seen. Actually, wait, I have seen a lot of Fargo. But I know Noah Hawley did Legion, which is with like an X-Men mutant type thing. I never watched that, but I heard it was pretty good. Something different, Rob, Marvel Studios. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about then. Don't know what you're talking about. The Evil Dead 81, Evil Dead 2013. Okay. All right. I learned something today. Looking back on the pre-production of Alien 3, they really tried to screw over Fincher. It was amazing how the movie was ever released. Oh, absolutely. And it's really interesting. Look, if you're an Alien fan, you owe it to yourself to track down the freaking whatever this is. I knew it was going to happen. Stuck on the camera. You need to track down this set. Okay? Now look, this is Blu-ray. There's no 4Ks. But this set is great because it's a really well put together set too. I love this set. So of course you get Alien. Oops. You get Alien. You get Aliens. But then when you get to Alien 3, you get the original. But then you also get... Oh, it's all on one. You also get the assembly cut for Alien 3. So basically, what happened was Fincher was filming the movie, and the studio was basically over his shoulder all the time. And whenever they weren't, he would shoot all the stuff that he wanted. He would shoot the stuff that they wanted, but he would also shoot this alternate version. It's like there were two scripts. And he was shooting all of this alternate stuff, right? Well, when the studio found out, they were not happy, and they basically kicked him out of the editing room. So they went and edited together what they thought was going to be the movie. And then, of course, David Fincher said, later, he was like, I never want to be involved in a studio production like that ever again. Well, when it came time to release this set, Charles de Lauzirika, which is, you've heard me say this guy's name many times. He has done a lot of behind the scenes documentaries for Ridley Scott, for, just like a lot. Like, they're really, really good stuff, right? If you see the name Charles de Lauzirika on a documentary, watch it, because the guy is really, really good at what he does. So he got a hold of all that original footage for Alien 3. He went to David Fincher and he said, look, I've got all this footage. Do you want to come in and re-edit Alien 3 the way that you wanted it, the way that you originally wanted the thing to be made? And David Fincher said, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And I'll just say this. I'm going to send you, because I don't know if he sent, if I could be wrong about this. He either sent him his notebook, or Charles de Lauzirika, in searching for all this stuff, found David Fincher's notebook on all of his notes for Alien 3. He said, do whatever you want with it. If you do a cut of the movie, like a new edit, you just can't call it, I don't want it to be called a director's cut. So Charles de Lauzirika, using David Fincher's notes, re-edited Alien 3 with all of this newly found footage, the footage that Fincher shot, and made this new thing called the assembly cut. Typically, what an assembly cut is, if you're looking at the way movies are made, it's literally all of the scenes basically put together the way the script says they are. And it's that's why you hear sometimes like a movie will come out or a movie's in post-production and you hear, well, the first cut of this movie was 3.5 hours long. Now it's down to 1 hour and 45 minutes. Well, that's because they assembled all the footage they put together and they put it in the line, and it's called an assembly cut because they assembled the movie together, right? That's what it's called, an assembly cut. The assembly cut for the Game Chasers movie was definitely a lot longer than the original. I don't know what the original length was, but it was a lot longer than the way the finished film. And that's, it always happens that way. Now, different directors work differently. Some people will cut, like they'll be finished for the day and the director will go sit with his editor and he will edit quickly all of the scenes that they shot that day. Right? They take the best takes and all that kind of stuff, the best shots, and they'll edit all of that in the same day. And then at the end of the movie, they can assemble the movie into an assembly cut that's much shorter than these typical 3.5 hour, 4 hour, assembly cuts that you hear about all the time. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, if you're really interested in Alien and maybe you like Alien 3, maybe you hate Alien 3, but I think if you're a fan of Alien, you owe it to yourself to watch the assembly cut of Alien 3. So seek this out if you can. Seek it out, because I don't think Alien 3 was available separately. Seek this out and watch it. It is an experience because it's completely different than the original movie. And it's really cool. And it made me it made me appreciate the original movie too. Because I didn't really, I wasn't one of those people that was that mad. Wait a minute. Do we need to worry about spoilers for a movie that came out in 1993? Probably not, but I'll just stay with it. If you've seen Alien 3, you know what I'm talking about. There are a couple of significant deaths at the beginning of that movie, right? I was never that bothered by it. I mean, was I a little upset? Sure. But the thing is when stories happen, things happen. Life happens, right? And in some cases, people don't survive things. I was fine with that because I'm like, take me on a journey. See, I'm one of those weird people, like beginning of freaking Last Jedi, dude's throwing a lightsaber over his shoulder and most people got pissed off. And I'm the one that was sitting up closer going, oh, what is this about? Because I want to be taken on a journey. And the thing is I like it when a director, when a story does something that I don't expect to happen. So I was completely involved. Like, oh, okay, how is this going to work now? Right? So like, to me, Alien 3 was always like pretty substandard in my mind, but the assembly cut made it so much better. And again, you have to understand, just logistically, there's a reason that they did what they did for Alien 3, right? Because a child actor 7 years later wouldn't look the same. So things had to happen. And in doing that, they decided to take Ripley on a different journey altogether than had ever been done in any previous Alien movie. And I appreciated it for that. To me, I'm one of those that I give a lot of credit to a movie when it swings for the fences, when it tries to do something different. Like, and that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but for me, yeah, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. I would highly recommend this set. I would also highly recommend, without hesitation, I would recommend the original Alien 4K. It's fantastic. It's got all the different cuts that have been available over the years. Aliens is a little bit of a different story. Recently in the news, James Cameron basically said that the people that look at grain structure in 4K movies, they need to get out of their mom's basement and get a life. I'm not one of those. We've talked about that stuff before. All I can say is that the movie is intact. Some people don't like it. Some people think that it's just it's radically different from the cut that's on this set. And I will agree with that because the 4K for Aliens looks very different, very clean, almost like it was shot last year or something. But I liked it. So there you go. There you go. Okay, let me go back. So basically, Wraith talking about Alien 3 screwing over Fincher made me go on that tangent. Sorry, but look, I'm a fan of Alien, okay? No idea about this other stuff. Sounds not great. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, right. Alien franchise is my Star Wars. Well, there you go, Wraith. There you go. And yeah, I had a feeling that you had that set. They dressed the dog up as a mini alien in Alien 3, which is pretty hilarious. Oh yeah, that footage is great. And the thing is, man, Fincher, watching that movie, watching Alien 3 is so different than the other movies. Now, some people say, well, yeah, it sucks. Okay. But you saw that amazing artist at work. To me, the way that it was shot, the way the camera moves, all those things, I loved Alien 3 because it was so different. A lot of people don't like it, and they still don't, and I understand. But there you go. Pesky Wayland Yutani. Yep. Basically, going forward, they need to just use the production art department prop FX team from Romulus for any upcoming Alien project. I mean, Leon, you're not wrong. I thought that was, again, pretty freaking flawless. Except for, again, that one element that we've talked about ad nauseum. I do like we got to see a colony in the bureaucracy and the grime in Alien Romulus. Very good. Haha, own it. There you go. I have the quadrilogy. Love the box set. There you go. Closing and heading home. Ricky, be careful. You're probably already gone because that was probably 45 minutes ago. The fact that Billy did all those jobs on film is pretty insane. Derek, you're not wrong. I mean, look, the thing is, Billy did a lot. I helped as much as I could, but the dude did some amazing work. And I mean, I just don't know what else to say other than he did an amazing job on Adventures in Game Chasing. And the fact that people were immediately stealing it. And then on top of that, going on IMDb and just trashing it and giving them, ones or whatever. Don't like it. Don't like it. And it's also why I feel like IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, the user scores are completely useless. They've basically been rendered completely useless because I can't believe any of them. And that's a shame because people don't know how to freaking rate things. Oh, it's either the worst thing I've ever seen or it's the best thing I've ever seen. Well, F you. You're not helping me out at all. But there you go. I like the theatrical cut for Alien 3. You and me both, Wraith. It's just you and me. Actually, I think the third movie isn't all that bad. I've got no issues, no doubt, but I kind of like it. I do too. Think I have the quadrilogy and the assembly cut is on there. Yes. I can't get over the beginning of Alien 3. Well, yeah, talked about that. Affleck and Lopez officially divorcing. Oh, no. Anyway, if I had that, I need that up. I need to have that. Oh, no. Anyway, yeah. I mean, look, the only thing I will say is I hope it's because they grew apart. That happens. I hope it's not because Affleck is going down in a downward spiral again. I like that guy. I've always liked that guy. I've always defended Ben Affleck, and I hope the best for him as a person, right? And I hope that's what I hope. I hope everything's okay. One of the very few flaws in Aliens is the constant shrill squealing of a particular character, so I was pretty happy with the beginning of Alien 3. Interesting. Just checked my copy of the quadrilogy, and Carbonite Dreams is right. The assembly cut is on there too. Oh yeah. The quadrilogy. Was there a different Blu-ray set that had that? Because I had the DVD set. The I don't know the timing of these other sets, like this one or this one. Oh yeah, then that's definitely. Yeah, includes the theatrical and unrated versions of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. So if that's the one you have, cool. But if it's this one, I'm not sure. That's a DVD set. It depends on when it was released. I mean, this one, I had this set. The Alien 3 version is not on this. The assembly cut is not on that. I know that. So if you have this one, that doesn't have the assembly cut of Alien 3. The Alien 3 assembly cut was done for this release. I could be wrong, but I mean, Alien guy. Let me see. Alien 3 assembly cut release date? That's not helping. That's the original release date. First released as part of the Alien Quadrilogy box set in 2003. Really? I thought it was done for this. For the special edition release on Blu-ray, several original cast members were brought back to re-record their dialogue in several of the additional scenes, allowing 20th Century Fox to create a new sound mix. Consequently, every trace of the subpar sound quality present on the earlier DVD release was eliminated, finally offering fans the special edition in a complete version. Oh. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. So, look, yeah. So, okay. So what I told you was true from a certain point of view. So basically, what this means to me is that if you can get the 2003 set, you can get the freaking alien head one over there for $450. So you can get the quadrilogy from 2003, but this one is going to have a better sound mix, the Blu-ray. And I mean, come on, you want it Blu-ray, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? Yeah. I mean, just get this. But there you go. Could have had Newt survive and live outside the cryo and age. Well, right, but then you couldn't use the same actor. Because I think the whole thing was that she didn't want to come back. Because I don't think she's done anything else acting since then. But mostly mute. And yes, I was ranting, sorry. Rob is Alien, I'm Fast and Furious. There you go. Jay should try to rebound Lopez. Look, what that could do, though, Seriously, in all seriousness, if Jay could woo Jennifer Lopez, he might be able to get some of that money for our future movies, which would be, and she could help, you know? It's almost like nepotism, but you marry into it, right? I think that'd be great. So Jay, get on that. Get on that, buddy. 7:30. No, you didn't. That wasn't 7:30. You hear my voice? My voice is cracking. You are wrong, sir. I mean, but I was, like I said, I was right from a certain point of view. My fan of Aliens is the exact same movie, but with Mute Newt. Ben Affleck deserves way better than shitty Jennifer Lopez. I mean, what do you have against Jennifer Lopez? Well, Phil, you say your UK Blu-ray set of Alien movies is called Alien Anthology and folds out, not a book format like yours. Yeah, yeah, there are multiple editions of this, and of course, I'm sure that they did, different versions in different countries. But all I'm saying is that I thought I am mistaken. I was mistaken, and I will own up to it. I thought the assembly cut was done for the 2010 release. I didn't realize it was done for 2003. For that original DVD set that I'm pretty sure I don't have anymore. Because when I bought this, I'm like, well, why do I need the DVD set? And I got the Blu-ray that's 1080p, bitches. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I'm pretty sure I said those exact words. And the person that I was talking to said, sir, this is a Wendy's. Anyway. Another movie added to the watch list. I recommend it. I do. Go with the Blu-ray if you can. There you go. What I wanted in is 4K. I mean, I would love, really, honestly, I don't care about Resurrection. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. But, yeah. Yeah, but then she would be in the movies and they would take. Carrie Henn was the actress who played Newt. She's now an English teacher, apparently. Yes. I also agree. I think that the book format is really nice. Now, I'm never a fan of, let me pull it out again. I'm never a fan of these kind of, where you have to kind of dig the DVD out or the Blu-ray out. I don't like those. But this is a really beautiful set. It's just nice looking. The way that, like, attention to detail, as this opens up, it separates, but it's attached. Dude, that is just a really nice touch, and it keeps it nice and keeps it nice. So this is definitely one of the better sets. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous set. But, not Gary. What's going on? We were talking about you earlier, weren't we? I think we were. I don't remember. I wouldn't want Jay to deal with her. That would be torture on him. I mean, I wouldn't have to deal with her, so you know what I mean? So here's what we're going to do next. We are going to rate. I'm going to rank the Alien movies. So if there's a movie with an alien in it, I'm ranking it. Okay? So we're going to start at the bottom and go to the top. Bottom, go to the top. Bottom, go to the top. That's what we're going to do. Okay? So here we go. No, not Mac and me. Like a Xenomorph, the alien, the 20th Century Studios, this Alien. We're going to rank all the Alien movies. Okay? All those. Resurrection is what happens when you take a British production and make it in America. 9 out of 10, it's shit. Well, Resurrection was filmed by the same director as Amelie. What's his name? Does it have? Jean-Pierre Jeunet, the same director as Amelie, which is an amazing movie. Don't know if he should have made Alien Resurrection. But we're going to start at the bottom. Of course. Of course. Alien versus Predator, Requiem is the bottom. Number 9. Now here's the thing about rankings, right? We can pretty much, I think most people can agree on the bottom couple of movies and the top couple of movies. Everything else is kind of like, I don't know. But there we go. So number 9, Alien vs. Predator, Requiem. Number 8 is Alien vs. Predator. I do not like either one of those movies. I don't find really anything of value in either one of those movies. I don't like them. I don't like them. So there you go. Now this one, here's where we get into some like, really? Next one, maybe. I don't know, maybe. Next one, Resurrection. I left the theater sad and angry. Alien vs. Predator. Ugh. Okay, now Shozama, you're absolutely right. Both of the, in fact, there are 2, right? I think 1 or 2. The Alien vs. Predator video games are awesome. Awesome. But to me, Resurrection is the next worst movie. I consider those more Predator movies than Alien. Well, you are right. But the arcade game was great. I'm the only one who likes the AVP movies. Well, you know what, Derek? It's fine. And you know what? More for you, buddy. More for you. I do not own the Alien vs. Predator movies. But I own the rest of them. The next one might be a surprise. Maybe not. If it would come up. Alien Covenant. Now, I will say that regardless, this might be the best poster of all of them. I really like this poster. I'd say Resurrection is probably in a good spot there. Also agreed on Covenant. Okay. And is sucker for crossovers. I get that too. I'm actually interested if they ever make the Transformers versus G.I. Joe. That would be interesting. Who's texting? Oh, okay. I would be interested. But yeah, Covenant. It's a good looking poster. And the thing is, man, I'll tell you this, man. Covenant, the birth scene. There's one thing that I will say about Ridley Scott, and no one can change my mind. When he does violence, it's visceral. And it almost feels like when I was a kid and you'd watch a movie, or you'd, when you're a kid and you peek around the corner to see what they're watching and a bad scene comes on and you feel bad about seeing it. Like it's almost like I shouldn't be watching this. Covenant made me feel that way. Dude, when it comes out his back, awesome. Next movie. And this is number 5, by the way. So we're going to be right in the middle. We might. But Prometheus is my number 5. Here's the thing though. I think Prometheus and Covenant are 2 of the best looking, not great movies I've ever seen. Ridley, look, you guys know. You guys know I'm a fan of Ridley Scott. Even though there are things that are not great about this movie, I still really like it. And I've watched this movie many times. Covenant, I've only seen like twice. Prometheus, I've probably seen almost an embarrassing amount of times. I'm just going to say it. It's probably embarrassing how many times I've seen Prometheus. And it's partly because I have the 3D of Prometheus. And it is gorgeous. It's one of the best 3D movies I own. Seriously. But there you go. So number 5 is Prometheus, which leaves, well, I think after this one, it's pretty much obvious what my ranking's going to be. Alien 3 is number 4, which is such a weird thing to think. But Alien 3 is number 4. Yeah. Leon says, I told you I'd seen Ridley's original animatics from Prometheus. Weird how one of those ideas was used in Romulus. Well, he did. He was helping with the movie. I'm not sure exactly everything that he was involved with, but my guess is, hey, they probably, Ridley gave Fede some of his stuff. Said, hey, use this. But that's, for me, Alien 3 is a solid number 4. Followed by Alien Romulus at number 3. It's weird. I actually feel, Pixel, I gotta agree with you. There is a good chance that Alien 3 might leap over Romulus. Because Alien 3, there's something about it. Dude, Charles Dance, Charles S. Dutton. And when the alien grabs that guy and goes into the ceiling, and that one guy goes, what the fuck? I love it. So Romulus might come down depending on my rewatch. But that leaves the top 2. And you know what it's going to be. Number 2 is Aliens. And I'm going to say this by saying, I understand why someone might put this at number 1. But it's not number 1. It's Alien. And the reason that it is because Alien and Aliens are 2 vastly different movies. When I was younger, I would watch Aliens. I've watched Aliens so many times. So many times. Okay? In fact, I've said this before. I've watched whole sections of this movie, like 20 minutes of the movie, frame by frame. And the reason that I did that is because I wanted to learn editing. And I wanted to learn how, like, what shots do you need to make this thing make sense? And it is insane how many cuts there are in Aliens. James Cameron isn't it? I mean, look. I know. He pisses people off. He says brash things. But he's an amazing filmmaker and he's an amazing storyteller. Visual storyteller. The dude is super insane. But it's not Alien. Alien has that special something. It's everything to me. I saw Alien in the theater recently and it was jaw-droppingly good. So there you go. That's my ranking. That's my ranking. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of us are pretty close. I mean, other than Derek, that really likes the Alien vs Predator movies. I think for most of us, pretty well agree. I think I agree on this one too. I still need time to think where I put Romulus. I might put Alien 3 above Romulus for now. See, exactly. It may be. Time for a bench press. Need to get J-Lo's suitor ready. Oh my God. Yeah, Ryu's realist. Yes. Fede Alvarez said that he wanted to work with the director of Prey. I can't remember his name. Maybe I should look that up so I know what the hell I'm talking about. Prey director. Dan Trachtenberg. God, he looks young. Excuse me. So yeah, he wants to work with Dan Trachtenberg on an Alien vs Predator movie. I think that's a great idea. I think they should do it. I think they should make it for Hulu. I know. Man, these movies really deserve to be on the big screen, but they also deserve to have the studio's hands off of them so that the directors, the writers, the people that actually make the movie should have final say on what the movie ends up being. I feel like Romulus was tainted. I really do think that. I would love to be able to talk to Fede Alvarez off, just off the record. Were those your ideas, dude? Or not? Because you seem like a big fan. Why, as a fan, would you want to literally trample over some of those original lines? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know. It's the atmosphere, the camp, religious focus, something about it I just like. Pixel. Me too. Me too. There's something even more insidious about the fact that they were all, murderers and rapists, and they all turned to God, and yet some of them, dude, I love that movie. I love it. I think it's great. I don't care. There's going to be people that say, whatever, but man. And the thing is, like, the more that I think about it, as long as the story gets me, I guess it's just because, movies are such a visual medium that, man, if you get there with the production design, the set design, the costume design, and you build a world, I have to give you credit for that, man. It's probably why I like more Ridley Scott movies than most people, is because I watch Ridley Scott movies and I completely believe it. I believe the world that they're in. Dude, Prometheus is so gorgeous, man. And the music in Prometheus, I don't even know who did. It's over there. I'd have to pull out my wherever my 3D Blu-ray of Prometheus is. But whoever did the music, I guess I can look it up. But man, the score for Prometheus is gorgeous. Love it. I understand though. I understand. POV chase scene was great. Hasn't been done since. Wraith, I always loved that. It's great. In space, no one can hear you scream, and there's not enough material for underwear. Think you and I understand each other on these rankings, Rob. Exactly how I do it, aside from 3 Romulus, maybe. Yeah, to me, the way that I look at it is that I was trying to think of it as pure entertainment value. And I think that I enjoyed my time at the theater with Romulus more than I enjoyed my time at the theater with Alien 3. And you might be saying, Rob, that came out in 1993. How old were you? I was 17 years old when Alien 3 came out. Was it 93 or 91? Was it 91? Posters? Alien 3? It doesn't have the release date on there. 92? Didn't we just look it up? May 22nd, 92. Okay, so I was 16. I was 16 when that movie came out. I saw it in the theater. And I was one of the many people that in the first 5 minutes, I'm like, what the hell's going on? I still like it. Yeah, yeah. Mark Streitenfeld, is that the composer? Elliot Goldenthal. Yeah. In fact, the more I should have known that. Elliot Goldenthal's done some good stuff. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. What is Elliot Goldenthal done? Man, IMDb sucks. They need to fix that crap. Really? Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, Frida, SWAT, and Public Enemies. Those the movies you pick? I don't think so. Composer. I do not like the way that they've done. There was an error loading credits. F you. Batman Forever, Interview with a Vampire. Ooh, that was a good one. Demolition Man, Pet Cemetery. Interesting. Heat. Heat. Michael Collins, Sphere, In Dreams. And then he got to, hasn't done a whole lot. In fact, he hasn't done a single one since 2020. Interesting. But screw IMDb because, wow. Rufus the Red, welcome. Lots of people that work for JLo have claimed and showed she's a rude biche. Apparently she's bitches at staff, even if they look at her too. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about freaking Jennifer Lopez. I never really have. Scott is still great. The Last Duel and Napoleon are evidence. Ryu's Realists. Wow. I think you're the first person, and I'm not judging, but I think you're the first person to give Napoleon as almost like evidence that Ridley's still got it. There's a lot of people that say stuff about that, about like, oh yeah, Ridley Scott, ever since The Martian, he's just lost it. And I'm like, you didn't see The Last Duel then. Because The Last Duel I thought was great. Napoleon had moments of brilliance, but that, to me, if you look at Ridley's career, and there are definitely still holes in my Ridley. I haven't seen every Ridley Scott movie. The one thing that I've noticed though is that Ridley is less concerned about the story and more concerned about the way it's going to be presented. So it's the production design, set design, costume design. That's what he's, and the look of everything, the way it's shot. That's what he's concerned with. He's less concerned about story. And I'm really a story guy, so it's kind of weird that I would be such in love, or I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Ridley, I do love you. But anyway, like enamored with Ridley, it's more about his visual style. I just love it. I love the way that he puts a set together. It's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's lost it at all. I think his biggest single issue is story. Because he's like, that's good enough. And like I said, I don't have any evidence of this, but it feels like there are certain movies where he reads a scene and he goes, I'm not sure how to do that. And I'm not sure how to get that across. That seems like a challenge. I want to do this movie. Which is one of the things that fascinates me about him. But hey, it's just part of the deal. Some people don't like Ridley Scott. I love him. I don't think Napoleon was nearly as bad as some people did. I thought The Last Duel was like fantastic. Not an easy watch, for sure. The subject matter is difficult. But it's a really good movie. Just saying. Napoleon, like I said, issues. And I'll also say that, man, have you heard the news about Joaquin Phoenix? About him walking off that movie, and now they're talking about suing him because it was 5 days before production. He brought the story to him. And then apparently he's got cold feet and doesn't want to do it. Now who knows, really? Who knows exactly what the reasons are for him leaving that production? But leaving them high and dry like that 5 days before shooting, wow, that's something. So he's probably going to end up paying some money. But that's really interesting. But yeah, it's a weird performance from him in Napoleon. Everything else though, well, everything else technically, acting is superb, music's superb, the way it looks is superb. It's just that story is all over the place. And I really wanted to see the big, long, crazy 12-hour cut. Whichever cut. I think it's a 4-hour cut is what they said. And then now, I guess because it didn't do well, Apple's like, no, we're not going to put that out. And I'm kind of like, at this point, just put it out, man. I want to see that. If they release that on 4K, I'm buying it. I'm buying it with all the monies. And don't worry, Phil, I have not forgotten about Gladiator 2. Every time I see that trailer in the theater, because I did see it again a couple of days ago for Alien, really still got it, man. Now, I think we can all agree that using pop songs in period pieces just doesn't work. Look, just because Thor Ragnarok did it doesn't mean that you have to do that in every trailer. We don't need a popular song in every single trailer, okay? Yeah, but they say something about I don't care what they say in the no, it's a popular song. It's a recent song. How about you, I don't know, match the tone of the freaking trailer? Anyway, IMDb was better before it got acquired by Amazon. IMDb was better when they weren't concerned about selling so many ads. But yes, you're right, Shozama. Damn. I mean, I don't know. I don't think anybody noticed. But I have a preview window right here, right? And as soon as I loaded up IMDb, because of all the ads it has to load, it completely screwed up my playback. So now my playback is dead right now. Dead. Hope all is well, Rob. Totally slipped my mind tonight. I'm still at work, sorting and cleaning, maybe playing Fallout 76. Came upstairs to do a dab, saw you live, dropped the ball. This week, brother. Rufus, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. They choose highlights on random for some reason on people's IMDb page. Yeah, why? Heat is GTA the movie. Somewhat. It's still, Heat's amazing. Oh, you're okay. You're right. Prometheus composer Mark Streitenfeld and Harry Gregson Williams. What is so Mark Streitenfeld has also done A Good Year. Hey, look, a lot of freaking see A Good Year, Robin Hood, the Russell Crowe Robin Hood, the Ridley Scott Robin Hood. I like that movie. I like A Good Year. Now, Robin Hood is not the best, but it's pretty good. Poltergeist 2015. Okay, so he's done, I mean, he did Body of Lies, American Gangsters. I still need to rewatch those. I've only seen those movies once on the 4Ks. I've owned the Blu-ray for Body of Lies, the 4K for American Gangster. Haven't rewatched them yet. But there you go. Vote for Pedro. Pedro. What is the deal with facehuggers? What is the deal? You're right, Pixel. That was completely my mistake. I got crossed there. Last Duel was not a bad movie at all. I was just super bored while I was watching it. Okay. I wasn't. Film visually is gorgeous. Yeah, okay. See, I think people will agree though. Ridley's got a problem with story. And as long as he can get the production design good, he doesn't give a crap about the story as much. But then again, people thought like of all of his movies, A Good Year is his worst reviewed movie. Rotten Tomatoes wise. This is from critics. They hated A Good Year. I love that movie. In fact, I love it so much that I bought it digitally and I'm like, the Blu-ray has special features that are not available on this digital. So I imported a German Blu-ray of A Good Year. Who does that? This guy. But there you go. Joker 2 is coming out. He'll be fine. Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. But the thing is, you think studios won't be a little hesitant to sign him? Because apparently he did something on Napoleon. And we're talking about Joaquin Phoenix here. That Joaquin Phoenix apparently said that he was going to walk off the set of Napoleon if one of his friends wasn't able to come on and do rewrites. So there's definitely something going on with Joaquin. I'm not sure what it is. And like I said, I don't want to guess. But he's probably going to have to pay at the very least, he's going to have to pay some money to that production. He's going to have to pay for walking off the set 5 days before shooting. That was a Seinfeld airline food joke. You guys can laugh if you want. Oh, what is the deal? Okay, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I got it. Now I need to hear Jerry say that on stage. Still haven't watched the first Joker. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I get it why people liked it, but I thought it was fine. I bought it digitally just because I wanted to see it. I think it was on sale for like $10. So I bought it digitally instead of renting it. And I don't know if I ever need to see it again. And I know April won't watch it, so that was just Taika Waititi. He used to be my favorite. Probably is Fede now. And I'm not sure what the oh neat is. I made it downstairs before you read my joke. He's stubborn and autistic and it comes off as deep. I'm not complaining. I rely on that as well. I'm not sure. Dude, I don't know what anybody's talking about. I'm so confused. But I do want to mention this. Mark the calendars. August 23rd. This Friday on Max premieres. Oh, Joaquin, yes. Okay, gotcha. This Friday on Max, the premiere of Horizon: An American Saga. I know some people are like, "What? Okay." But here's the thing. I really liked Horizon. And I want to see more. And I hope that Horizon does well on Max. So yeah, but just know going in, when you sit down to watch Horizon, realize number 1, this is the first of possibly 4 parts. Number 2, that not everything is going to connect yet. So there are going to be parts of stories that you're like, I'm not sure how that makes any sense to what I just watched. Just breathe. Just let it flow. If you like Westerns, I like it, man. I like it. So I'm hoping, basically, is what I'm trying to say, is I'm hoping that Horizon does well on Max this weekend. So, but look, it's everybody's talking about it. This big cancellation, right? So let's talk about it, okay? Are you guys ready? You're finally ready for me to talk about this big cancellation? All right. That's not it. I hit the wrong button. This cancellation. Yes, Horizon on Max. Cosma. Yes. But let's talk about this cancellation. That's right. Netflix has quietly canceled Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead franchise plans. Wait, what? This isn't the cancellation you thought about? Okay. So here's the thing. I know this is not what you expected right here, but look, yeah, Army of the Dead was the Netflix movie that Zack Snyder did, and apparently there was going to be an anime series, there was going to be a sequel, there was going to be all this stuff. This is the cancellation that no one is talking about. No one's talking about this. But here's the thing: did anybody actually watch? That should have been what was on the in the poll. I'm going to end the poll, by the way. Got 28 votes. Only 7% of the people are going to read Lou Elizondo's UAP book, Imminent. 53% said no, and 39% of you are comedians. What the heck is this reading that you mentioned? What is this? So 7%. That's not a lot. But anyway, look, here's the thing. I like Zack Snyder. I do. But man, the guy should do other people's scripts, I think. And this is coming from somebody who likes him. He seems like a really good dude. But man, I don't know. I don't know. But the thing is, not many people are talking about this because this news was buried in an interview with him. But yeah, so they're done with that. They're done with that. So there you go. But no, really, this is the big thing, right? That's the big cancellation that everybody seems to be like super happy about. There's a lot of blah, 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 all this stuff about it. I mean, who didn't see this coming though? Seriously. Who did not see this coming? Oh, now it makes sense. Sorry, Pixel. I know, the cancellation everybody was talking about. People are happy about others not working. I mean, right? I haven't watched season 1 yet. Oops. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, the Acolyte started off really strong and then died off really fast. Because most people did partly what I did, which was they watched those first 2 episodes and then went like, and then didn't go back until weeks later. And then by then it was probably too late. So it's a thing. Now, a lot of people are happy about it. Like, for example, I do want to bring this up just because, and look, I don't know how many of you guys are on Twitter X, but has his personality changed? Like, he says crap like this all the time, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like the same guy. But anyway, the fact is, people keep saying crap like this. And you know exactly what he means, right? Here's the thing, though. That's the reason maybe why people didn't watch it at first. But that doesn't really, I mean, it doesn't amount to the same thing, right? I just don't think that's it. Now, look, I don't want to freaking go on a political thing here or anything like that. But I will say that I don't think that the problem with the Acolyte is the casting of different actors and actresses in parts. I don't think that's the problem. The problem is the show sucks. It just sucks. It's not a good show. It's a poorly made, poorly edited. Man, did that movie or that series look like it cost $180 million? Apparently it cost $2 million per episode, more than House of the Dragon. Now, which one looks better? Which one looks better? So I don't know. I just I don't understand it. I don't understand how I'll just say this. If you want to have uh something that you really want to get across in a story, don't make it about that. Never let, and this is something that I've pretty much stolen from Robert Meyer Burnett because I believe it. Never let your agenda get in the way of your storytelling. Just don't do it. But the thing is, I don't think even the agenda was half-assed. Like, I didn't get anything out of that. I really didn't. It's just mediocre, like to the extreme. The only thing that I will say that really kind of, man, I was actually kind of interested was the fighting. The fighting in the Acolyte was actually pretty cool. There was some cool fight scenes. Some of them, I mean, there was a couple of them that were kind of like, eh. But I mean, I was kind of impressed. The problem is, though, the show sucks. So if you want to hate the show, hate the show. But hate the show for the right reasons. Hate the show because or dislike the show. Whatever. Dislike the show because of, the poor editing. Or the lackluster storytelling. Or the characters seemingly flip-flopping in scenes. Like one scene. There was one scene that I remember where a character flip-flopped twice and it didn't make any sense. And I didn't understand why. It was poorly made. But there you go. That's why it's not getting a second season. It's not because there's, you know, certain people of color in certain parts. It has nothing to do with the lesbian witches was so offensive. Really? There have been planets of witches in cartoons, mind you. Nobody thought about that. Nobody had a problem there. I didn't have a problem with the witches of Dathomir. Nope. Because you know why? They were awesome. So here's the thing. Look, Lucasfilm, I don't care who's in charge. Make sure your story rocks. Make sure your story rocks. That's it. Period. Right? Am I still streaming? Did YouTube cut me off? But seriously, that's really what it comes down to me. It really has nothing to do with agenda. It really has nothing to do with people of color being in protagonist roles. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is piss poor storytelling. Tell your story. And tell it well. And no one will complain. Well, maybe not no one, but most people will not complain. So, there you go. Now I'm off my soapbox and we can do other things. Let's talk about other things. Why did I lull y'all to sleep? Maybe. Anyone who gets their knickers in a twist about lesbian witches should love the Acolyte. They all got wiped out. I mean, there's that. There is that. But yeah, I just my biggest thing is like maybe nobody here watched the Acolyte, LOL. Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I watched it because I watch everything Star Wars because Star Wars is, man, it's my thing, right? The problem is just, man, it's just a poorly told story. And I don't care. I don't care who, I don't know. I just think if you, man, make sure it rocks. Because here's the thing. I don't think it's about that anyway. It almost makes me think like all the hate mongering, I don't know. All this talk about, oh, you know, go woke, go broke, or oh, I don't want a black girl as my, you know, my protagonist. I don't think that's it at all, because House of the Dragon was also out and led by two women. Well, two female characters. One that's the actor is non-binary. But still, nobody seems to be complaining about that show. Why? Because the show's freaking awesome. I think the show's awesome. I mean, there's some people that didn't like season 2 of House of the Dragon. You know, they were like, I was let down by the whatever. It felt like blue balls and blah, blah. Okay. I still think that show's freaking good. And not to mention that Shogun is probably the best show this year. But there you go. I like Star Wars, but I'm such a casual fan. I watch something that I hear is good, but I'm not actively following upcoming projects. Usually I just find out about new shows or movies for Star Wars. Pixel. Did you happen to see the preview for Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars Disney Plus show? Because I will tell you, as a Star Wars fan, I was very pleased by it. Because it reminded me of the look of Amblin, like 1980s, 1990s Amblin, Goonies, Gremlins. You know, it's kind of got this, because it's basically about a group of children that find that live in the Star Wars galaxy, and they're longing for adventure, and they end up finding one, and it looks interesting. So it's basically the way that, and it's directed by the guy who did the last 3 Spider-Man movies for Sony. And he basically said, I want to do a Star Wars show, but it's kind of like Goonies, you know, it's about kids and Goonies and stuff. I like the trailer. I thought the trailer looked amazing, and it looked like 3 times as good as the Acolyte did. Just the trailer. And it's got Jude Law in it. So, sounds good. Sounds good. They said it's like Goonies, Stranger Things, but in Star Wars. And I'm like, I'm down. So, yeah. I just want Star Wars without Kathleen Kennedy input or influence. Well, here's the thing, Shazama. How do you know that all the good stuff hasn't had Kathleen Kennedy's fingerprint on it? You can't just go off of the stuff that sucks. So you're telling me that since Disney took over, you haven't liked anything Star Wars? Nothing. None of it's good. Andor's not good. Mandalorian's not good. Rogue One's not good. None of it? Because that's the thing. Kathleen Kennedy. Look, I've heard things that Kathleen Kennedy at times would inject opinions that weren't exactly welcome. But she's also one of the best producers in cinematic history. Now, that doesn't mean that she's right for the job of leading up Lucasfilm, but I just don't think I don't think Kathleen Kennedy's the problem. I mean, she could be. She could be. The reason that Acolyte sucks might solely fall on her shoulders. But if you also notice, she wasn't at Comic-Con. She didn't present at D23. Now, of course, D23 wasn't televised or anything like that. But, she's been kind of in the background. So who knows? Who knows how much Kathleen Kennedy influence there is right now? But I can't even imagine that Kathleen Kennedy would be the sole problem with all of Star Wars. But she wore a Forces Female shirt. Well, apparently that wasn't even something. She was wearing that for Nike, and it had nothing to do with anything. But it was a Nike promotion. But I just don't think. I just don't think she's the problem. I think there's other problems. Namely, other executives that are calling the shots. I've said it before, said it again. I think Bob Iger has more to blame about the Star Wars sequels than Kathleen Kennedy. But maybe that's just my opinion. I just want better Star Wars. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want a better story. Some better stories. And Andor seems to be the only one where if you took everything, like here's the thing. And this is kind of how I look at things. And it's kind of how I want things. Now, I mean, again, I'm not the only person out there. But like, to me, if you got your IP, right? If you took the Star Wars out of any of these stories, is there a story there? I've been saying this for years now. If you took the story out, the Star Wars out of the story, would there be anything left? So Star Wars in its current iterations, ever since pretty much, well, you might say even since the original trilogy, Star Wars is just about more Star Wars. It's just referencing itself. It's this feedback loop. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but some of it just doesn't do it. The only thing to me that if you took out the Star Wars, you would still have what I think is a compelling story, is Andor. So yeah, more than anything, I think they just need to focus on telling a damn good story. And by the way, that's also what Noah Hawley said about his Alien series. He said, I wanted to write a good story first, then put the alien stuff into it. And I'm like, you're speaking my language, dude, because that's what I want. Awesome. So we'll see. It could be great. It could be crap. But that doesn't mean I want it to be crap. I want it to be great. I want everything to be great. I want the next Fast and Furious movie, no matter what it is, I want it to be great for whoever those movies are made for. Ricky. and other people, right? I want everything to be great. And I would hazard a guess is most people that work on movies don't work on them because they want it to suck. And that's the idea that I can't understand about how some people like on the internet that just hate shit, you know, and they hate watch stuff and all that. You know what I mean? I don't understand it because I guarantee you that there's a ton of people that worked hard behind the scenes to try to make this thing happen, and they believed in the work and they tried to do the best work they could. But sometimes things don't work out. Rise of Skywalker is a perfect example. You watch the behind the scenes stuff. You don't like if you hadn't seen the movie and you just watched the behind the scenes stuff, you would think that they were making the best movie of all time because those people believed in what they were doing and they were trying to do the best damn work they could. And that is why it all comes down to story. Story is where everything hinges. So Lucasfilm, fix your story. Work on your story. Make it awesome. That's so weird. Am I in focus? Oh wow, that's wow, my preview window is playing at 144p. Can it go up? Oh, that's weird. Why was it stuck at 144p? That's like crap. It was in and out in focus, though no, by not much. Well, I mean, when I move and stuff, sometimes it'll focus on stuff back here. If I do that. Oh no. It's still focusing on my shoulder. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, yeah. That's I'm done ranting. But again, hate it for the right. If you don't like the Acolyte, if you hate the Acolyte, hate it for the right reasons. Don't hate it because there's a black girl in it. Hate it because the story sucks. The real reason. But look, I just want to bring this up. This came out today. Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs by Luis Elizondo. It's only 304 pages. Yeah. This is the big news on the UFO stuff right now. Is that Luis Elizondo is doing all kinds of videos or all kinds of interviews talking about his new book. I don't know how much news there is, but I will say this. If you are interested in knowing at least some of the breakdowns of what's in it, I'm going to post a video. I haven't watched it yet. I saw it earlier. It's a live stream on the Vetted YouTube account. Some people like the Vetted YouTube account. Some people don't. But Vetted was on, wasn't he on Christian Harloff once? I think he was. But Christian Harloff does his daily show, or his daily, it's almost every day. He does something in relation to the UAP, UFO, disclosure, all that kind of stuff. Well, Vetted is a channel that, or he's a guy that has been doing YouTube stuff about this ever since the Grush hearings. Had him on, they talked, and it was interesting. It was an interesting conversation. This that I just posted is a 2-hour breakdown of the book with the guy from Vetted, Pavel, who is also on Christian Harloff from time to time, and a different guy that I've never seen before. But anyway, if you're interested in a breakdown, you don't want to read the book, at least like I'm not going to read the book just yet. I'm in the middle of Once and Future King by T.H. White. That's a classic. If anybody knows about King Arthur and the Round Table. Yeah, I'm still reading King Arthur and Round Table shit. Anyway, there you go. So here's the thing. A lot of people don't like Lou Elizondo. And they're saying, oh, he's just trying to sell a book or whatever. But apparently he used to run ATIP, right? Isn't that his thing? A former senior intelligence official and special agent who was recruited into a strange and highly sensitive U.S. government program to investigate UAP incursions into sensitive military installations in airspace. And that was his job. His job was to do this. And he wrote this book. And apparently it took a long time for it to come out because it had to be, cleared to be released because of sensitive materials or sensitive information. Here's the thing. I don't know. I haven't read it because, like I said, it came out today. But there you go. It's out. I like Patrick from Vetted. He was the first person to do a daily UFO/UAP channel as far as I know. Christian has been on with Patrick, and Patrick's been on with Christian. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that the Vetted guy, I watched him a couple of days and then was like, I don't need this every day. I don't need this in my mind every day. You know what I mean? And so I quit watching Vetted. And then the only reason that I subscribe to Down to Earth is because of I like the weekly longer show that Christian Harloff does, where it's more of a larger breakdown of the news of the week or an interview. And the interview from today was actually really good. But the thing is, look, we don't seem any closer to any sort of disclosure. So I don't know. I was kind of curious as to how many people even knew about the book and wanted to read it. So like I said, only 7% of the people that voted in my poll even said yes, that they would read it. I don't know. Bucho, is that something that you would be interested in reading, or are you kind of like, I just want to know what's in it, really. But from what I hear, it's actually a pretty good book. What does it say here? There's only 7 ratings so far. 9 ratings, all 5 stars. Thank you, Lou, for your hard work. You're one of my heroes. I'm an experiencer and on the spectrum. Non-biased review, maybe? If you're simply curious about the UAP UFO topic and looking for an authoritative account of what is actually going on, this is a great place to start. Beware, though, once you start reading, it may be very difficult to stop. I started at 6 a.m. and I'm just now finishing it. Wow is all I can say. Well, it depends on what time you posted the review. Chris Smith, with your review on Amazon, if that's even your name. Here's the thing, though. It's all about, we need multiple people. We need multiple people to tell these stories, and we need multiple people to give this information. And even this, how are we to know that it's even any of it's true? I don't know. I was the same. I listened to Vetted daily for a few weeks, but for the last few months, I just check in with it once every 3 or 4 weeks and listen to select episodes. Yeah, my thing is I don't need a constant reminder of the government screwing us. I don't like thinking about it. And it's something that I have a thing. No, I have like part of my personality is I get very addicted to things. Like I go down the rabbit hole and then I stay down the rabbit hole. It's why for a while there, we were talking a lot about UFOs and UAPs because I was down the rabbit hole like every day. I was reading shit and it was freaking me out. I don't need that. And it takes away from the rest of my creativity. And that's why I've been trying to read more about subjects that I'm interested in, fantasy books and things like that, literature, trying to broaden my thinking. And in turn, what that does is it helps me be a little more creative. And I've come up with I've come up with one more story. So like I've got 3 stories kind of rattling around up here right now. So, and I keep going into, you know what? I don't have it. I don't have the CD in here. I don't know where the CD is. But, okay. I think Cosma likes the Police, right? But here's the thing. So tell you how I got there. The Police, Synchronicity, the Big Bad Special Edition thing that I got, right? I listened to all of that. It was amazing. It was great. You know, if you're a Police fan, holy shit. There's so much cool stuff in there. B-sides, live tracks, things, and then different alternate versions of what ended up on the album. Amazing stuff, right? Really cool, especially if you like, you know, hearing the progression of a song. Really interesting stuff. So then I'm like looking at Super Deluxe stuff, and I found, oh my gosh, 10 Summoner's Tales. The Sting album from like 1993, 10 Summoner's Tales has a special edition with extra stuff. I'm like, cool. And I'm listening to it, and I come across a song on 10 Summoner's Tales that I've heard tons of times. For whatever reason, the reason that I bought 10 Summoner's Tales originally is because, does anybody remember Lethal Weapon 3? At the very beginning, there's a song by Sting called It's Probably Me. And it's an awesome song. And I always wanted that song, but I didn't know where to find it. Then one day I'm looking at CDs and stuff in a store. I see, 10 Summoner's Tales. I'll turn it over. It's Probably Mia's on there. I'm like, oh, great. That's the song I want. And I took it home, and it's a different version of It's Probably Me than what's in the movie. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Over time, I love the CD. I listen to the CD backwards, or backwards. I don't listen to it backwards. I listen to it from beginning to end multiple times. There is a song on there called Something the Boy Said. And the whole theme of this album is they're tales, they're stories. There's different stories in each song. And I've never really been when I listen to music, I want to hear a story in a song. Never really been that way. And I've listened to this CD many, 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 many times. But for some reason, this song came on and it hit me. And I'm seeing this story play out, and I'm like, holy shit, why is this not a movie? Like right now. Something the Boy Said is the name of the song. Sting. It's on 10 Summoner's Tales from 1993. Listen to that song and just try to get the visuals in your head. Oh my God, this movie would be awesome. It's so good. And so I thought, man, is it possible for me to be inspired by this and write something? And then write Sting and say, hey, I wrote a story about the story that you put in your song. And then I'm like, dude, that's impossible. And I would hate to get finished with a book or a screenplay or whatever, and then have Sting go, no, I'm not selling that unless you have $1 million. And then I'm like, well, shit, all this for nothing. But I'm telling you, listen to that song and try to get the visuals in your head of what he's saying. It sounds awesome. It sounds like, because it's basically about, this is how it starts. So it's about a soldier who's in this company. Now you don't know if it's supposed to be like, it could be like Middle Ages. It could be like conquistadors or something like that. He says, we're basically going on this adventure. We don't know what we're going to find. As we go to leave, the captain's boy, the captain's son, says to us, we'll never see your faces again. You'll be food for a carrion crow. And the whole song is about this whole time when they're on this journey, they keep thinking about what the boy said. Something the boy said. Okay? And the way that the story plays out is freaking cool. And like I said, I got visuals and all this stuff, and I'm like, I want to see this. I want to see this. So anyway, look up Something the Boy Said. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I mean, it's a song from 31 years ago. I'm sure it's available everywhere, but thought it was cool, and I wanted to share. So there you go. Much like Grush, Elizondo's an interesting cat, but unlike Grush, last I checked, there's still questions about whether Elizondo actually held the roles he claims he held. If you want help out of that particular rabbit hole, spending time in the company of Carl Sagan and those of his ilk is a solid start. Sagan brings the wonder, but leaves out the woo. Absolutely, Bucho. Absolutely. But for me, it's just leaving it over there, and just leaving it off to the side and not worrying about it for a while. That's how I tend to do that. And like, I remember especially when I was younger, we're going to get personal here. We can get a little personal here. Okay. So when I was younger, I would get into these weird, almost feedback loops where I couldn't stop thinking about certain things and I couldn't get my mind off of it. And what got my mind off of it is either watching a movie, reading a book, or playing a video game. Music didn't help, but those three things did, because it basically broke the pattern and it broke the cycle. So for me, that's what I did with this, is that I realized, okay, every day at the same time, I'm going to these sites and I'm reading all this stuff, and I keep going to the subreddits, you know, the aliens and the UFOs subreddits, and I'm reading stuff and I'm getting more and more paranoid. So I said, okay, I need to stop. Because here's the thing. It's another one of those situations where I can't do anything about it. So why would I spend so much of my energy thinking about it when there's nothing I can do? And so now I've been focusing more on when I'm not, you know, taking in others' art, as in reading or watching, you know, Criterion movie or something like that, I'm thinking about my story or thinking about my different ideas and how I can put these into motion. I'll tell you this. What was it the other day? Oh, I said it. I said it in the Discord. Was it? I can't even remember now. I just remember it was in the Discord and thinking, oh yeah. What is this? Uh-oh. That was from last week, Ninjinzu. Where was that? Was it cool videos to watch? Yes. Bucho. Your Christian Harloff's interview with Nestor Carbonell was awesome. That was so good. Do something every day towards your dream. And that's what I realize is, like, I've been spending most of my days either watching movies or, you know, cooking or cleaning or whatever. It's like I'm not really working towards that dream. And, you know, if I have a few minutes and I'm like, oh, I wonder what this happened, like in my head, the story ideas. But I need to be actively working on those and actively crafting those. And then that way I can really start to write them, because they're still just kind of rattling up there, and they're just kind of, they're cool ideas, but they're just rattling around. I need to work on them. Anyway, man, y'all are quiet. Y'all are quiet, but here's the thing. I need to get off anyway a little bit early tonight because I have to go to the grocery store. I didn't even recognize him in Shogun. Yeah, I recognized him just because I was watching the credits, and I was like, oh, huh. And again, he's one of those character actors that I would never say, oh man, Nestor Carbonell, you know? But he's solid in everything I've ever seen him in. You said get off, giggity. If you're leaving right now, bye. But I'm just going to say this. Nestor Carbonell, that on Discord, if you're on the Discord, go to the, what was it? Cool videos to watch. Yeah, that's a hell of an interview with him. And I got a lot out of it. I really enjoyed that. So thanks again, Bucho. But yeah, I got to get going so I can go to the grocery store for some things that my wife needs for the morning, because she's going to be going to work tomorrow. Taking my car, which is scary. It's always scary when she drives my car. But guys, thank you again. Once again, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for adding to the conversation. Thanks for talking about aliens with me. Whether it's, you know, these aliens or, you know, those UAPs and whatnot. But you guys have a great night and a great week. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you heard, but Game Dave and his wife had their baby last Wednesday. Did you know that? Congratulations to them. And hopefully he'll be on stream this week. But I might be late because I might be going to see a movie. But anyway, you guys have a great one. And I thought I hit the button. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. What, post credits song? There's no song. I gotta go to the store right now because April needs some stuff. Son of a bitch. Bye.